Ghana for Mahu senior leadership ni bi. Edi on mind way ego atopre. Can you imagine? Ammishaddai no ho ofedodo. Bema nim nyamfo dodo wonim debe. Ne sasu bi mada nechi nenim obia ni ho. Enti GRA Ghana Revenue Authority just Ammishaddai pe and obetua to. Ghana for ni miso mampani Akufo-Addo and the vice Alhaji Bawumia said, "Dear Bay, what is the secret behind the dark clouds?" Dear Bay, Papana Yejuma 3 years perpetuated illegalities against the consciousness of the 1992 Constitution. Yankasao, Masai am an appointment biom. So on Twaso, and one besenko, Masai am another appointment biom ediaba semwa. And I make a tramose. What was a 15 million pounds sterling a coin? Me say no mu here GRA penny bi e mana ye ho nkrata. Na minim say wo mu ma Ammishaddai aba. No abeye san nkrata ne dia ewuranom ntimi nkyere mo. Because nti ase enim look. Mon connect opini mra na ye ni nkomo. Eye public accounts. Na ye misanse because all of, in fact, my producer would also join me shortly. We need to interrogate this and interrogate it well. But it's not adding up. Who want the kwa? President Akufo-Addo ehu ewa Ammishaddai huntia. Tintina Ammishaddai so weden wotena akonwa so. Menti ase. Edi asem eyade benya, what is the secret? Na asem besi wo memu ha wo. Wo share documents so far. Oh say Ammishaddai no. Cha obehwe ne say previous na watre ho a waye adwuma no. Question a yebibisa ne say appointment Akufo-Addo de ama no. Is it in regards to retrospection and I say there is no retrospect. Not just say inti appointment no mo de man no na no. Ebeba be affect vacuum no a no oye adwuma no a oni krata eda ne ti so no ebeba be cover na dwens asem no na mentia se ntia moye mo ne omasa mentia se ntia why we do such things in this country and what is the issue and why must we see what we are seeing? Well, let's go on the line and speak to Honorable James Kluche Aveji. He's the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee. Honorable, good evening.
Good evening.
Great, thanks for joining us. First of all, I'm sure your committee has picked a wind of this letter circulating. Now I can say that maybe it's circulating, but then before the program, we intercepted 2 documents. One was written by Abena Osei-Asare, former Deputy Finance Minister, and then the 2 letters also written from the Office of the President. All of these letters giving credence to the fact that the President, after the 3, may I say, close to 3 years consecutive vacuum created by Ammishaddai without recourse to any appointment, and now we are seeing these letters flying in the media airspace. What does your committee make of this very disturbing situation?
Thank you very much, Kweku. I think that the committee has a job to perform.
Great.
Which is to review the Auditor General reports that he submitted to Parliament. Now, so the early part of this year, we started the review of the reports for 2022 of the Auditor General. Now, usually when we're reviewing the report of the Auditor General, we concentrate on what the report contains. The report usually flags certain issues that we call infractions, those that are against the laws, the financial laws of this country. And the recommendations are made by the Auditor General. So that is what we focus on. But usually information get to the committee, which definitely will be in the interest of the public. So we call it public interest question. Now, the letter that you intercepted, especially the one signed by the Deputy Minister of Finance, Honorable Abina, that letter was in our possession. So the interest question here for the public is that if that letter says that government has immediately suspended granting or appointing people who have gone on retirement for contract, how come the Commissioner General was still at post? So the member for that's Honorable Sam George wanted to know if really the Commissioner General has attained the retirement age of 60 years. So he approached me and said, Chairman, I have a public interest question. And this is the context of the question. I said, no, this one, it's for public consumption. So go ahead and ask the question. So when the Honorable Sam George asked the question, then there was an uproar from my colleague members of the committee who are from the MPP. And they said, no, Chairman should not allow this question to be answered by the Commissioner General because this is a personal question. No. And I said, how can this be a personal question? The person involved here is occupying a public office. So the laws of this country, the Constitution made it clear that if you attain the age of 60, you have to go on retirement. So somebody occupying a public office, a question about his age cannot be a personal question. It's a public question. So the Commissioner General should go ahead and answer the question. There was a lot of issues, to the extent that one of the members have to disrupt our recording process. So even the mic could not even work again. So I have to take a break for about 30 minutes to 45 minutes.
Really?
Before yes. Then our technical men came back to fix the problem.
We pick intelligence to this effect, but give us a sense of understanding of what was actually raging at the committee setting. Was it what we heard that it nearly got to some fisticuff? Was all of this mean, as it were, because of Ammishaddai's presence before the committee and because of the fact that his retirement age is due and he's supposed to go, but now before the committee and some of the members do not understand the records of his presence?
No. The members from the MPP side didn't just want him to answer the question.
Why?
I think because they knew that Honorable Sam George was going to arrive at something or has an information which will not be in the interest of the Commissioner General. So they wanted to protect him. So when we eventually resumed, after the SEM was brought back to life, I told the Commissioner General that go ahead and answer the question. And I told my colleagues on the committee that, look, the laws of this country made it clear that if you attain the age of 60, which is the retirement age, you can be given a contract for a period not more than 2 years. And this can also be extended, but all put together should not be more than 5 years. And let me read the Constitution.
Great.
That says that Article 199 of the Constitution, as amended. Now, the amended is the addition, which is the clause 4. It says that, now let me read the clause 1. Then I'll read the 4, that we can then understand. Yeah.
Great one. Go ahead, sir.
Now, Article 199 says that a public officer shall accept, as otherwise provided in this Constitution, retire from the public service on attaining the age of 60 years. Then Clause 4 says that, notwithstanding Clause 1 of this article, a public officer who has retired from the public service after attaining the age of 60 years may, where the exigencies of the service require, be engaged for a limited period of not more than 2 years at a time, but not exceeding 5 years in all, and upon such other terms and conditions as the appointing authority shall determine. Now, who is the appointing authority? Appointing authority is in Article 195 of the Constitution. And Article 195 of the Constitution, and permit me to read that also.
Go ahead, sir.
It said, subject to the provisions of this Constitution, the power to appoint persons to hold or to act in an office in the public service shall vest in the President, acting in accordance with the advice of governing council of the service concerned, given in consultation with the Public Services Commission. So the appointing authority here is the President. Now, he may delegate that to the board or whatever, but the Constitution says that he is the appointing authority. So if he attained the age of 60 and he's gone on retirement, and the exigencies require that the services that he's providing, we cannot get it anywhere again, the President will appoint him upon such other terms and conditions as he may determine. Now, so when I asked him to answer the question, he provided this answer, that he was 62 years after last year, around October 2023. Then the further question that Honorable Sam George asked was that, so you are on retirement, but you are still at post. Do you have a contract? He said, yes. He said before the committee that, yes, I have a contract. Then I came in and said, good, you have answered the question. That settles the matter. If you are over age, that is, you are on retirement, you have a contract, that settles it. Now, Sam George asked again that, well, so per your age, the first 2 years contract has lapsed. Have you had a renewal of the contract? And that one he said, no, he hasn't got a renewal. These are the answers he provided.
Oh, he said it before the committee.
Before the committee.
I see.
He said he had a contract for the first 2 years.
Okay.
But the extension, he doesn't have the contract for the extension.
Okay. So then we can assume that at the very time Ammishaddai was before your committee, this particular letter that we've intercepted had not yet surfaced. Can we say that? So
that is what the problem is.
Okay.
It means that he lied to the committee.
So we can say he has committed perjury, correct?
He has committed perjury.
What becomes of such a high-profile government official will commit perjury before the Constitution, before your committee, which also comes in same as that of like representing the High Court? And what would your committee do in federals?
Well, let me read where we have our powers as a committee.
Okay.
We go to Article 103 of the Constitution. Now, Article 103 of the Constitution says that Parliament shall appoint standing committees and other committees as may be necessary for the effective discharge of its functions. That is one. 2, the standing committee shall be appointed at the first meeting of Parliament after the election of the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker. 3, committees of Parliament shall be charged with such functions, including the investigation and inquiry into activities and administration of ministries and departments, as Parliament may determine. And such investigations and inquiries may extend to proposal for legislation. Now, when you read 6, Article 103, Clause 6, it says that a committee appointed under this article shall have the powers, rights, and privileges of a high court or a justice of a high court at a trial. 4 is limited to 3 areas. Enforcing the attendance of witnesses and examining them on oath, affirmation, or otherwise. B, compelling the production of documents. And C, issuing a commission for requests to examine witnesses abroad. Now, the first one, that is Article 103(6)(a), is we examine these people, the witnesses, on oath, affirmation, or otherwise. So, the Commissioner General, Rev Ammishaddai, took an oath to speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But it is now being revealed that while he told the committee that he had a contract as of February this year, it is not true because of the letters that he has accepted. Now, the president now wrote a letter that took retrospective effect to cover him. So he has said something which is not true under oath. We will resume as a committee, will analyze this situation, and will make our recommendation to Parliament. Because this is purely an issue that is perjury.
This is quite mind-boggling. But, Honorable, let me walk you through this part. That one of the letters asked, and again, let's establish this, that both letters were written the same date.
The same date,
That's 26 March 2024. Now, on one account, the President says extension of service as Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority from 11th October 2021 to 10th October 2023. Then the second one also says 11 October 2023 to 31st March 2024. Are we therefore to say that, yes, both letters must, as it were, be adhered to retrospective effect? And what does the word retrospective can be adduced in this circumstance? That a crime has been committed, somebody has perpetuated illegality on the consciousness of the Constitution. What would the committee interpret this in regards?
Well, let me tell you, the reason why the president wrote the 2 letters one day is just to cover him.
Okay.
Now, the reason why the letters were 2, not 1, to cover the entire period is that the Constitution was clear that whenever you are engaging a retired person or on contract, the period should not be more than 2 years.
Yeah.
So that is why, because the period is more than 2 years, you have to split the letter into 2. The first one, that will be exactly 2 years. And then the second one, which is below 2 years, because they said not more than 2 years. So that is the reason. So the intention of the president writing the letters is to cover him. Now, whether the president can appoint somebody that will take retrospective effect, I want to prove to you that if you read the article, it says that the president can engage this person upon such other terms and conditions as he, the president, may determine. Look at the 2 letters. Is there any terms and conditions stated in those letters?
No.
No. Now, the 2 years, the first 2 years that the Commissioner General was in office, was he paid salaries?
Correct.
What were the conditions under which he received salaries? What other benefit did he receive apart from salaries? Do you understand the point?
That's correct.
Because if the letters were not, upon the letter were not given to him when he was in office. Meanwhile, the Constitution says that the president, when you appoint him, you should appoint him based upon terms and conditions. So which terms and conditions do they use to pay him at the time he was in office? So this is what the problem is.
So then I think that Public Service Commission may have to come in and answer some questions in this.
Yes. Yes. How was he paid? Who determined those terms and conditions? Because there was no appointment for him at that time. So there are two issues here. The Public Service Commission or the president must respond to that. How did he pay the Commissioner General when there was no appointment? On what conditions? What terms and conditions was he paid? What were the benefits he enjoyed during that period? Then the Commissioner General himself lied to the committee that he had a contract for the first 3 years. It is only the renewal that he did not have. Meanwhile, the new letters written by the president shows that he did not have any appointment when he was in office. So he also paid it.
Honorable, as a chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, try to, as it were, separate yourself from your committee and then make a sense of it. Why do you think the president is hell-bent on keeping Reverend Ammishaddai at post? What is it? Under what circumstance the president still cannot let him go? But this man would have to be at post to do what? What do you think?
Well, as of today, 5th April 2024, Ammishaddai is no more in office.
It's no what?
Because he's no more in office.
I don't understand this.
The second one ended on 31st March 2024.
Exactly.
So it means that per those letters, he's no more in office. So he has let him relieve of his post now. But the question still is that why did he keep him in the office without giving him a contract?
Yeah.
Now, was it an oversight on the part of the president? Or it was intentional? So for me, I think that even these letters that he wrote were not necessary. If really he think that the letter can serve him, if somebody take action against him, this letter can serve him, I don't think so.
Now, make a sense of what Abena Osei-Asare, former Deputy Finance Minister, also wrote. And then this same woman was at the committee also trying to defend this commissioner at the very time of the committee sitting. What was going on? Why would she write this letter and then come to the committee and defend this man? Yet this document was quietly, pushing underground. What do you make of it?
Yeah, knowing very well that those letters, the letter she wrote was not to grant any extension to any officer.
Exactly.
Yet the Commissioner General was granted that permission, even though there was no letter to cover it.
Yeah.
She was protecting him or preventing him from answering that question because she knew very well that whatever answer she would provide will reveal all these issues at where we are today. So she might do everything to prevent that.
I see. Have you picked or did you pick some intelligence with regards to the Finance Committee, which I know you are not on that committee, but have you picked a win that Honorable Isaac Adongo and Stephen Amwa, had nearly fisticuffs on the same man, also demanding to know certain things, and the committee will not allow Adongo to ask all the questions about Ammishaddai, and it really got nasty. Have you picked a win of that?
No, unfortunately, no. Okay. I have not.
Great. So your committee is resuming when? Monday, next week Monday, correct?
We are meeting on Monday and Tuesday to look at two different issues.
Okay.
Concerning the consolidated account of Ghana, and then we'll also look at the foreign exchange receipt and payment of Bank of Ghana, and then some performance audit reports in the Cocoa roads, and then also some roads in Accra.
Great one. Honorable James Klucher Veji, of course, Chairman of Public Accounts Committee. Honorable, we are most grateful for this very time granted to us. Ghanaians, applaud you so much for your colorful work done as a chairman of this committee. We are many thanks indeed for your time.
Thank you too.
Great. Folks, we've been talking to Honorable James Klucher Veji, Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, on the 1 minute breakdown of the ACOSO so far. I want a committee in him. Now, apart from say Ammishaddai appear wo public accounting, or science who appear finance committee ho. Finance committee ho no so no your intelligence say 2 members of parliament, Honorable Isaac Adongo or Miami Senior, North Assembly American, and then a cool school. Only Ureya, your friend. Stephen Amos is your deputy. Say a car tournamento our finance committee as here. Papaya Samuel, because Honorable Isaac Adongo kana say one day Ammishaddai beko jail. And someone will be sano mentia se sentia na one more committee now said M-Pesa Papa Nebekasa. Minim secret to kwa no M-Pesa Papa Nebekasa. Ekoye simple. So committee no next almost suspend. You know, both the Public Accounts Committee, any finance committee, both proceedings in no at a point on one hand, confusions be break customer, they have to suspend sitting because of Papa Way. But when your baby sanwa says na me say when no lieutenant o every GRA headquarters abetra committee nim mo ba be defend mo de be am mo annual budgets na wonim say wo ba no so no you don't have further and better particulars, folks. Well, my producer Yao Yamba will join me shortly for us to do some further perspectives in depth on this document.